How's it going, everybody? It's Brandon Drake representing healthyDataGuy.com because I am the Healthy Data Guy. So I'm excited here today, and because today we're actually going to talk about the fastest ways to increase your energy for good, and it doesn't involve supplements or caffeine. But before we get started, I've got two questions for you. So, do you wake up feeling already tired and want to keep hitting the snooze button just to get a few more minutes of sleep? And do you find yourself reaching for sugar or caffeine at various times of the day to get actually through the day? So you can actually get your energy back and stop feeling like you've got to hit the snooze button in the morning. I created this talk because fatigue and low energy is one of the things I hear complaints about most often. I've also experienced it, and I'll tell you later about my experience. So, fatigue seems to be really rampant, and what bothers me more than that is that for some reason, some of us have come to the conclusion that it's normal to be tired, and it's really just a side effect of being busy and having a full life or just getting older. And I want you to know that if you're struggling with low energy, which is I'm assuming some of you are, or you know somebody with fatigue struggles, that it absolutely can change for the better. That's exactly what I'm going to show you today. So imagine what could happen if your energy levels were stable from the time you woke up to when you went to sleep. You would be able to handle stress better. You'd be able to be more patient with yourself and everyone in your life. You would be able to think more clearly and be more productive, and you would be able to enjoy your life and have the energy to really do the things you want to do instead of just quote unquote getting by. So think about what all that would mean for you and think about how much happier you could be. So I just want to let you know that you are definitely in the right place. And you're in the right place if your lack of energy gets in the way of being truly productive at work, exercising regularly, and preparing simple but healthy meals for yourself and your family. So, before I go any further, you're probably wondering why I'm here speaking to you about boosting your energy. So, I know firsthand what it feels like and it feels to be tired and just want to feel like yourself again, productive, motivated, full of energy, and able to enjoy your work and family and the things that truly are important to you. So, real quick story: when I used to work in the tech industry, well, I do work in the tech industry. When I did work in the tech industry in a previous job, I was working anywhere between 10 to 13 hours a day on a consistent basis. And I started experiencing a lot of fatigue, and I kind of thought that it was because of my busy lifestyle of especially working a lot of hours. And I figured once that would calm down and went back to working 8 hours, that I would be fine. And when I did go back to working 8 hours, I still experienced a lot of fatigue and being lackadaisical all the time. So one of the days I actually went to the doctor, and I only go once a year because I just get my health checkup, and my doctor said that I had prehypertension. So because of that news, I really took my health to the next level. I started being really proactive. I basically started reading cookbooks, health cookbooks, looking at uh, videos, reading nutritional books or whatnot, and I started implementing that lifestyle into my whole overall daily activities that I was doing in terms of trying to cook more. And I actually also too got to the point where I wasn't really happy with my job because of me being fatigued and overworking, that I actually quit my job, went to culinary school, went to functional nutrition school, then started my own business and started helping people that had metabolic disorders, meaning they had either heart attack, stroke, diabetes, and one of the main symptoms was a lack of energy. So basically, with all that experience that I had, I basically first fixed myself before I was able to fix anybody else. And the results were I reclaimed my energy. And you know what? It actually changed everything for me. And I started using this process with my past clients, and they didn't have that afternoon crash anymore. They didn't rely on caffeine and sugar to get through the day. They began waking up with their alarm clock, without their alarm clock, and they just started having extra energy. And it was really great to see that my past clients were succeeding because first I fixed myself before I could fix anybody else. So really, I really want to see people restore their energy and strength by me sharing with them important health concepts so that they could create a personalized lifestyle for their long-term health success. So, what am I going to cover today? The six culprits that are robbing your energy, the foods and drinks that are your top energy stealing offenders, and one simple strategy that you could implement immediately to avoid that 3 p.m. crash and binging on sugar, and the fastest ways to increase your energy for good. And of course, it does not involve supplements or caffeine. And also, too, we're going to talk about the five powerhouse energy boosting foods that you can easily integrate into your diet today. So I'm going to share as much as I can in the time that we have. And I'm also too offering a great bonus resource for you as well at the very end. And that bonus is my healthy, delicious, energy boosting recipe guide. So I know a lot of people need really easy ways to incorporate energy boosting foods. So I have you covered in my healthy, delicious, energy boosting recipe guide. So this guide has quick and easy meals that you can make that are filled with energy boosting foods. So you could give your body the nourishment it needs to start to increase your energy. So these were recipes included in my past health coaching programs, but I love to gift you with this recipe guide, and I'll let you know at the end how to get access to this bonus material. So let's talk about what happens when your energy is low. So before my clients work with me, some of their common symptoms and complaints were the following. They wake up begrudgingly, drag themselves out of bed, and use coffee to make it through the morning. Also, too, as the day progresses, they find that they get stressed easily and they feel overwhelmed by everything they have to do. They might lose their patience with their family and have a hard time just getting things done in general. All this leads them to feeling down about any number of things in their life. And as they head into the afternoon, their low energy and down and blue feelings cause them to crave sweets, carbs, and more caffeine to get them that emotional and physical boost. And when I say carbs, I mean refined carbs. But then eating these foods, it actually puts them on a roller coaster of energy, which we'll be talking about soon. So they get hungrier and then they feel heavier and bloated. And this starts them on a downward spiral of feeling even more fatigued, bad about themselves, and just in a rut. It's a continuous cycle of negativity. And my goal in sharing this presentation is to get rid of this unhealthy cycle. So let's talk about the 6 culprits that are robbing your energy and keeping you drained and exhausted. So there are 6 major things that I see that that have kept my past clients tired and feeling drained. So let's talk about those 6 culprits. It's consuming foods and drinks that rob your energy. It's having unbalanced blood sugar levels, which is related to the foods and drinks that you're consuming. And also to having compromised adrenal health, which is related to your stress. And not exercising or over exercising. And then gut health issues such as undiagnosed food sensitivities or gut dysbiosis, which is basically an imbalance of good and bad bacteria within your gut microbiome. Also, to being too stressed out and not getting enough sleep. So, those are the 6 culprits that are helping to rob your energy, and you want to address that. So, we don't have time to go into all 6 items today shown in the previous slide, but I'm going to help you with one that will actually give you the quickest win. And it's actually the most fun to talk about, to be honest with you. And it's to stop consuming foods and drinks that rob your energy. Now, to some people, this might not be fun because you might be eating a lot of these foods and drinks that are actually robbing your energy. So you have to eventually get rid of that. So let's basically take a look at the foods and drinks that are your top energy stealing offenders. So offender number 1 at the top of the list is refined carbohydrates. So we hear talk about carbohydrates all the time, but what exactly is refined carbs or refined carbohydrates? So foods that fall into this category are things like white pasta, white bread, crackers, pretzels, most cereals, white rice, and most baked goods like donuts, croissants, bagels. These are actually American staples and they're all unhealthy, unfortunately. So why do these foods drain your energy? So to understand this, I first need to explain the word refined. What does refined mean in refined carbs? So refined means that they're not a whole food. They're foods that have been manipulated and stripped of fiber and nutrients. So let's take a look at brown rice versus white rice. So brown rice is a whole grain and a complex carbohydrate. This means that it hasn't been processed. It still has all its fiber and nutrients intact. You see, whole grains like brown rice have 3 parts, and those 3 parts are the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. So these 3 parts contain elements that are very important to your body, including antioxidants, B vitamins, fiber, protein, minerals, and healthy fats. Brown rice contains all these parts, but white rice does not. So actually all white rice actually started out as brown rice. To make brown rice white, The bran and the germ are removed in the refining process, and you're just left with the endosperm. This means that most of the fiber and the nutrients have been removed. This is why white rice is referred to as a refined carbohydrate because the nutrients and the fiber have been removed. So you might ask yourself, why do they do this? One of the reasons is for shelf stability. It's a sad fact that some manufacturers put their profits ahead of the consumer's health because the longer the product stays on the shelf, the more likely it's going to be purchased, therefore increasing profits. So there you go. Also, to another reason is cosmetics. Apparently, the pearl white is more cosmetically pleasing, so tends to sell better. Also, it's more convenient because it actually cooks faster when it's a refined rice, which is white rice. And really, I don't want anybody to sacrifice their health for convenience. And millions of people do it daily only to pay for it in the long run, meaning deteriorating health as they age. Such as various diseases like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and other chronic diseases related to the accumulation of unhealthy lifestyle choices. So let's talk about why refined carbs deplete you and make you tired. So when your body digests food, it uses nutrients from the food to do important work like helping to break down the food properly. But when you eat refined carbohydrates like white rice, which have very few nutrients, your body has to utilize stored nutrients in order to process and break down what you just ate. And using up these stored nutrients depletes your energy. So basically eating these refined carbs cause a spike in energy cycle, a spike in crash energy cycle, which you see right here. This is a spike and crash. This is when you eat a food and get a quick energy boost, followed by an ugly crash about an hour later. So here's why this happens. Because refined grains have been stripped of most of the dietary fiber and nutrients, they cause your blood sugar to spike. And this drains your body of energy. And this happens because your body processes refined carbohydrates very quickly. So when your blood sugar level skyrockets, it feels like an emergency to your body, and your body will do what it needs to get your blood sugar levels back down. So basically, insulin is pumped out, which then causes your blood sugar levels to drop rapidly, and insulin is needed in order for your blood levels to drop. But in this case, when insulin is pumped out, your blood sugar levels drop rapidly, and continually elevated blood sugar can lead to hardening of the blood vessels known as atherosclerosis, which basically increases your risk of heart attack and or stroke. So this is one of the downsides to continually eating refined carbohydrates, such as white rice, croissants, donuts, all different types of breads that are basically refined, especially when you go to the supermarket. So have any of you experienced this energy roller coaster of getting that energy high followed by that energy crash? So what foods seem to cause this for you? Maybe it's bread, cereal, chips, popcorn, white rice, pasta. Many of my past clients I work with experienced strong carb cravings. So when I talk to them about this, they say things like, I just can't help myself. I don't have enough willpower. My cravings get in the way. And look, I actually smile when I hear this because there's actually a very easy, simple system that I use with clients to end their carbohydrate cravings. So a lot of clients, my past clients, are amazed at how well the system works. And it actually has nothing to do with willpower or deprivation. When you dramatically reduce cravings for refined carbohydrates, everything else becomes a lot easier. And it really doesn't have to be done by eating less. It could be accomplished by making some simple changes to your food choices. So here's a pro tip that addresses your energy levels. Start to upgrade your carbs you're getting. For example, if you're eating pasta salad for lunch, you can upgrade that meal to include a tasty quinoa salad like the one I included in my healthy, delicious, energy boosting recipe guide. Or the time you go to maybe eat Asian food, ask for brown rice instead of white and see if that moderates some of the energy crash effect that you may currently get after the meal. So one of my past clients, her name is Karen. She actually came to me because she was feeling fatigued every afternoon at work. She was really exhausted and didn't have the energy to exercise, cook dinner, or enjoy time with her husband once she got home. So what she realized through our work together is that she'd been eating refined carbohydrates that were actually disguised as health foods. And she had been eating a bagel for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and lots of pasta for dinner. So once she understood that These were actually refined carbohydrates. She made some swaps for whole grains or complex carbs. And then within a couple of weeks, actually made it through her day with stable energy. Not only that, but she found that she enjoyed her work more. She started exercising a few times a week. She lost weight and had more energy for her relationship with her husband, and she felt better about herself. Even her cholesterol went down. These were just additional benefits she received when fixing her energy levels by making some simple food modifications. So you can see how having more energy has a significant ripple effect on your whole life and benefits other health markers in your life, like your cholesterol, weight loss, skin, and mood, just to name a few. So the next energy stealing offender is caffeine. So you might say, hold on, wait a minute. Doesn't caffeine have the opposite effect and basically gets you going, giving you energy? And that's because caffeine actually forces your body to pump adrenaline into the body. It's that adrenaline that gives you that energy high. So unfortunately, you pay for that energy later. It's like being broke and getting a cash advance. It's a temporary fix only. Do not rely on making temporary fix. Create permanent fixes and permanent changes by educating yourself so you know what to do moving forward. I want you to be independent, just like little kids leaving the nest. I want you to be able to fend for yourself and thrive long term. That's why I do this webinar, and that's why I'm continually adding important health concepts in the form of videos and articles to my website at healthydataguide.com. So caffeine actually causes increased fatigue. So here's why. So when you consume caffeine, whether that's in coffee, soda, or energy drinks, the caffeine blocks the neurotransmitter that causes fatigue. This neurotransmitter is called adenosine. So the whole time adenosine is being blocked in the background, it's still being produced by our body. But when the caffeine wears off, there is a buildup of the adenosine and you feel a rush of it all at once, making you feel really exhausted. So to explain this again, because I really want you to understand this, caffeine actually causes the neurotransmitter adenosine to be blocked off from attaching its receptor, from attaching it to the brain's receptor, sending messages that you're tired. So essentially what happens is the caffeine blocks the adenosine as the adenosine is actually building up in the background. And when the caffeine wears off, the adenosine all of a sudden floods your brain, attaches to your brain's receptors, sending you messages that you're tired and you get extremely tired. So that's just a couple examples or a couple explanations because I really want you to understand that caffeine is a temporary fix and that caffeine actually truly does cause fatigue. So if you like to add sugar to your caffeinated drinks, you're also experiencing the blood sugar crash that we just talked about when we discussed refined carbohydrates. So your energy crash is worsened by consuming caffeine and sugar. A pro tip is to boost your energy by eating powerhouse energy boosting foods so you don't have to rely on caffeine, which is a stimulant. There are 5 powerhouse energy boosting foods that you could easily integrate into your diet today. And easy is important because we're all busy, and if you're struggling with low energy right now, I know you need simple strategies that will give you a quick fix. So let's take a look at these 5 powerhouse energy boosting foods. So number 1 is green and orange fruits and veggies. So you might be wondering, why green and orange? It's because these provide good amounts of potassium and magnesium, which will help you with your energy. Also, too, potassium helps reduce excess sodium in the body, and magnesium also helps relax your blood vessels, therefore reducing the risk of atherosclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries, which obviously you don't want hardening of the arteries because that results in a heart attack and or stroke. Number 2 is nuts and seeds. So they both have iron as well as potassium and magnesium, which will boost your energy. And the healthy fats in nuts and seeds will give you steady energy. Your body actually needs fats for brain function and hormone function. And also too, fats are like your premium fuel for your body. Your body loves good quality fats because you're able to burn that appropriately and get the proper energy when you're burning that premium fuel, which is quality fats. Number 3 and 4 are beans and whole grains. I actually call it legumes and whole grains because legumes also include beans and lentils. These are all complex carbohydrates, and as we discussed earlier, They contain fiber and nutrients, so they're broken down slowly by your body and therefore giving you good, stable energy. And lastly is animal protein, which is also broken down slowly and helps you stabilize your energy and your blood sugar levels. If you're a vegetarian and you're able to eat eggs, those are also a great source of protein. If you're vegan and you don't eat animal protein, that's totally okay. You can focus on nuts and seeds and beans for protein. Also, tofu and my preferred vegan options are miso, which is fermented soy, or tempeh, which is fermented tofu. They're both underrated condiments. Well, miso is a very underrated condiment. It's actually used in soups. Obviously, most people are familiar with miso soup, but you could actually put it in different various soups to add like a more umami, meaty flavor. And also, they're added into salad dressings or marinades, so that you could actually experiment with that. Experiment with that. And also, too, fermented is good because fermented means that it's that the nutrients are more bioavailable, meaning it increases nutrient absorption. So that's a good thing with fermented foods. So depending on where you're at with your food, this list, the list actually might seem a little intimidating or daunting to you. So you may be thinking, okay, so I know what to buy, but I don't know how to make it taste good or to make it palatable. So, or you might be thinking that you don't have the time to cook those foods or to work them into your meals. But the good news is it's actually really easy and simple, and I love showing my past clients how it's easy to incorporate these foods into their lifestyle. As clients start to try new foods, this is really one of the areas that they rave about, and it's the most fun part, to be honest with you. At first, they think I'm going to make their life a lot difficult. Instead, I make it easier because I teach them how to simplify their meal planning, shopping, and cooking so that they could actually save time and energy. And remember, at the end of the webinar today, I'm going to explain to you how to get my healthy, delicious, energy boosting recipe guide, which will help you easily incorporate these foods into your diet. So, on a separate note, a lot of my friends and family, or even my past clients, would say things like, I don't have time. I simply respond by saying, well, if you get cancer or heart disease or diabetes, will you have time to make those fixes? Obviously, they say yes. And then I say, why even get to that unwanted health status? Be proactive now for you and your family and friends. For me, a long, healthy life is what really matters so that you can spend all that quality time with the people that you care about without having to worry about your health. That's enough motivation for me and hopefully for you to get started on these beneficial lifestyle modifications. So, the number three offender is energy draining. That is, the energy drainer are sugar and sugary drinks. So sugar and sugary drinks are also refined carbohydrates. Remember, refined carbohydrates are missing fiber and nutrients. So examples are the obvious things like candy, cookies, cake, and soda. So by the way, a can of soda has 39 grams of sugar, which is almost 10 teaspoons of sugar. So in order to do the math, it's very easy. A lot of manufacturers use grams. So if you divide grams by 4, you'll get roughly the amount of teaspoons. So 39 divided by 4 is roughly 10 teaspoons. So you do the calculation. Also, two, optional or additional topic is orange juice. Orange juice has 24 grams of sugar in 1 cup. That's 8 ounces. So if you do 24 divided by 4, that's 6 teaspoons. 6 teaspoons in 1 cup of orange juice. And the recommended dietary allowance for sugar is anywhere between 6 and 9 teaspoons. So when you have, and doesn't, what person drinks just 1 cup of orange juice? Hardly any. So you're actually going above and beyond the recommended dietary allowance of sugar. Hence the reason why there are so many different issues with heart disease and diabetes or whatnot because of this overconsumption of sugar. Just one of the many reasons that's related to so many chronic diseases that are happening within the United States. Also, there are not so obvious items that appear to be healthy, but are often loaded with sugar, such as cereals, granola bars, protein bars, and fruit and vegetable juice, tomato sauce, ketchup, yogurt, salad dressings, and barbecue sauce. And just like with the refined carbs that we talked about, these sugar-laden foods cause your blood sugar to spike, giving you a quick boost of energy, then a crash, which drains your body of energy. And additional facts about sugar. It actually increases the rate of mineral loss via urine or sweat by 300% post-consumption for up to 12 hours. There is no amount of supplements or dietary support to keep up with this mineral loss. So this mineral loss or mineral depletion, which actually leads to premature aging, expediting wrinkles and graying hair. And who here can't wait to prematurely age? Nobody, right? So also too, 1 teaspoon of sugar depresses the immune system for up to 5 hours. In this environment, we're trying to strengthen our immune system and not get sick. You want to limit your sugar so that it doesn't depress your immune system. Also too, diet and regular soda contain phosphoric acid, which also prevents mold growth, which is good. But the thing is, phosphoric acid disrupts nutrient absorption, preventing skin and muscles from getting the needed nutrients. This also speeds up the aging process, giving you more wrinkles and a weaker frame, meaning weaker bones earlier in life. Also, too, diet soda alters your natural hunger hormone called ghrelin. So diet soda actually increases ghrelin production, and this can lead to overeating, causing weight gain. So when ghrelin production is increased, it sends messages to your brain that you're hungry. So therefore, it's going to send messages to your brain because you're hungry because of the increased ghrelin. So that's the downside for consuming diet soda. And the recommended dietary amount for eating sugar on a daily basis is 6 to 9 teaspoons. When I work with people, I tell them 6 teaspoons, keep it to 6 teaspoons. That's the best way to go about doing that. So there you go. Those are all the downsides for sugar. Hopefully that motivates you to try to cut down your sugar, leading that ultimately healthy lifestyle. So also too, when you reach for sugar, your body is trying to tell you something. It's trying to tell you that it needs a boost of energy. And one of the reasons you need that energy boost is that you're dehydrated. In fact, 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. So lack of water is actually the #1 trigger of daytime fatigue. You see, when you're dehydrated, the blood volume in your body is reduced. And decreased blood volume actually results in lower energy levels, which leads to our final tip of the day, which I know you could guess. It's the final pro tip. This is something that you can implement immediately to avoid that 3 p.m. crash and binging on sugar. It's drinking plenty of water. So this strategy will not only dramatically boost your energy, but will also improve your metabolism. Most of us know that if we eat sugar and junk food that we feel like crap, obviously, right? So here are some facts that might surprise you and will shed some light on how water can help. So to give you that further motivation to drink more water, keep in mind that when you're well hydrated, your organs are actually able to perform more optimally. This allows your metabolism to improve, which means you'll burn more calories more quickly. Even mild dehydration will negatively impact your metabolism. So obviously, we know that water is crucial, not just for having good energy, but for overall health. Also, too, drinking water also helps your liver to stimulate the elimination of unwanted waste material. So your liver is like your body's filter. So another benefit of drinking water. So to get your water in, it doesn't have to be plain water from the tap. You can make a cup or even a whole pot of herbal or a decaffeinated tea that counts as water. You could also sweeten your tea with I believe it's stevia, a completely natural calorie-free sweetener. And you can make your own healthy lemonade using water, a little lemon juice, and some stevia if you want to make a better lemonade, which is way better than buying store-bought lemonade, which is loaded with sugar. So you want to avoid that. So also too, in a pitcher of water, you can put a slice of fruit in it, like strawberry, blueberries, orange, lemon, or lime. It could basically transform your plain glass of water into a fancy, tasty water. And also too, you could put a tea bag in a pitcher of water and let it flavor your tea. I like teas like hibiscus, chamomile, and different herbal teas, but it's up to you to find the right tea that works best for you. Also, too, companies continue to masterfully monetize and market water with the latest trending catchphrase like alkaline. It's a big waste of money. There is no evidence that water marketed as alkaline is better for your health than tap water. There's no science that backs that up. And even my friend who's an herbalist said you can naturally alkalize your water with citrus or Himalayan salt. So rather than paying the extra for that marketing, that marketed alkaline water, you could actually just use your filter water or water from the bottle, and you can naturally alkalize it by adding citrus like lemon or lime or orange, and adding Himalayan salt, either or. Okay, so the burning question is, how much water should I drink? So basically, you take your weight and divide it by 2, and that's the number of ounces you should aim for each day. So for example, say someone weighs 160 pounds, you divide that in half, and that's 80, which means a person needs 80 ounces of water. And if you want to translate that into cups, you just divide it by 8. 80 divided by 8 equals 10 cups a day for a person that weighs 160 pounds. So water intake needs do vary based on your level of exercise, the climate that you're in, other lifestyle factors, but this will just give you a starting point. And don't worry if you don't feel like you need water now. Don't punish yourself or beat yourself up for not meeting those requirements. Just know that you could progressively improve each day with your consumption of water. And once you start drinking more water, your thirst mechanism will actually get stronger. Your body will actually remember that it needs water, and you'll start to crave it more, which will make it a lot easier to drink water because your thirst will be your reminder. And don't worry if you're getting up a lot to go to the bathroom. Your bladder will actually get used to drinking more water, so be patient with it in the beginning. So today we focus on foods and drinks that give you energy, but this is just one piece of the puzzle. There are 6 puzzle pieces to address in order to end fatigue and increase your energy for good. So let's take a look at those pieces of the puzzle. So the 6 puzzle pieces of ending fatigue and increasing your energy for good. Again, we didn't have time to go into all of these today, but I wanted you to know that consuming foods and drinks that give you energy is one of the biggest pieces, and addressing foods first will quickly get you results. But if you're really looking for that long-term sustainable success with boosting your energy, you'll also want to address the following: balancing your blood sugar, which is related to the foods that we're eating. So we're already at a good start because you have some education on the types of foods to eat. Also, too, you want to address your adrenal health, which is basically addressing your stress levels. You want to give your body the exercise that's right for it. So you essentially want to find the exercise that is right for you. There's no one exercise that is the best. The best exercise is the exercise that is fun to you, that you'll do consistently. And also, too, you want to tackle your gut health issues, such as food sensitivities. And you want to find ways to de-stress and get more restful sleep. Sleep is underrated. I really stress that you get your good sleep at least 6 to 8 hours, at minimum 6 hours. And lastly, I want to give you my gift to you, which is my free recipe ebook. To access this recipe guide, I will email a link to my survey. I will email you a link. The email subject heading is "Get Your Free Recipe Guide from Healthy Data Guy." So once you open that email, you'll click on the link and you'll answer 8 questions in my survey. Once you complete my 8 easy questions survey with your honest feedback, I will then email you within 48 hours a copy of my healthy, delicious, energy boosting recipe guide. I thank you in advance for completing the 8 question survey because your honest feedback truly does help me constantly improve my health webinar about energy. So look out for that email with a subject heading of "Get Your Free Recipe Guide from Healthy Data Guy." Well, I really want to thank you for your time. If you have any further questions, you can email me or go to my website at healthydatagui.com to fill out my contact form, or look at my blog articles related to nutrition, healthy foods, and data privacy, which are topics that I'm passionate about because I have a background in computer information systems, culinary arts, and functional nutrition. So I'm trying to spread the wealth of health to those people that want to listen. And health also includes your data privacy in the digital world. So I believe in being upfront and transparent. So I want to provide you with as much information as possible so you can make the best informed decision on your health. I thank you for your time today. My name is Brandon Drake, who is the Healthy Data Guy at healthydatagui.com, where my passion lies in data privacy, food, and health. And I want you to have a great rest of your day. And thank you for your time.